Hi, if you've got a sound cylinder and you'd like to use the micro SD card to store MP3s or WAV files instead of just the sound you can get stored with the microphone, get a better quality with MP3 or WAV files, this is the place. I'm going to start out with going to the SD card itself and show you what it looks like. Open up the USB drive for the micro SD card is, and show you what each of these things does. So there's 3 folders, 1, 2, and 3, and then an example MP3 folder. The 1 folder is where the sounds for selector position 1 are stored. Go there. You can see each button has its own sound file associated. So the yellow button has that file associated, and so on. So if I double click the green, I should hear what the green button sounds like. Thinking music from Jeopardy. And 2, same idea. So each sound machine or each sound cylinder, folders 1 and 2 are unique. They'll have a different set of sounds in them. Folder 3, I ran out of ideas, and so folder 3 is just kind of a hodgepodge, and they're all the machines are the same, I believe. I wouldn't swear to that. Oh well. Anyway, then the example MP3s are all of the files that I've created or edited for the machine. So here's all the files. If you wanted to put it a specific one, like Bunny Hill theme, and associate it to the red button on selector switch 3, you rename it red, and then drag it over. I don't want to do that because I don't want to do that. Anyway, and then finally there's a settings file, and really there's only 2 settings in here. One's for the speaker and one's for the microphone. The microphone has no settings that are available through the device, so this is the only place you can adjust it. If you want to make it more sensitive, increase this volume, or this value, which will increase this volume. So the volume level goes from 0 to 100, 100 being the most sensitive and 0 being the least sensitive. The speaker, there is a jumper available in the battery compartment that will let you change the volume. This is a finer adjustment if you'd like. And again, it goes from 0 to 100, with 100 being the loudest. So if you wanted the machine to be as loud as possible, you change this to 100, and then you put the jumper on the pins farthest away from the battery. And there you can see what the loudest possible volume is. If the quietest volume is too loud for you, you could also go the other way. Took the jumper all the way off, and then you could set this to say 40 and make it much quieter, or really at any value, although a 0 it's going to be off, and it's just going to be a turn on the light on top and you're not going to hear anything. So that's the settings. You noticed when I showed this folder, they were named blue, green, red, but there's no description of what the file is. One way to improve or make it a little easier to work with them is if you customize this folder. So I right click on the blank area, customize folder, and change from general items to music. Apply that. And now you can see that there's a title associated with each one. So dial up, internet, thinking music, and so on. And I also put in essentially where it's from. So Won't You Be My Neighbor is from Mr. Rogers. I think that's all there is to the micro SD card. So let's go get a sound file. I like YouTube for getting sound files, and I think it's to let me tell you something. Now, I've already gone and looked at these and go, yep, that's what I want. So I want the original full version. Some of the other versions had music to them or a music background, and I wanted just the raw him saying, "Let me tell you something." So I'm going to select this one. I already know I was the right one.
What flavour? Like
You can see I've been doing it already.
Oh, he did that.
Billy.
Looks connected.
Which one?
See, that's connected, right?
It's quite a bit
We could,
that I don't
but we're not going
want.
to.
Just the let me tell you something. So
No,
skip
seriously,
forward
so
a bit.
we could double check.
Hold this one.
Hold that one right there.
Yeah.
We're a bit behind on time, so I'm just going to take your safety
Trying
off.
to get an idea of when it starts.
But they changed the time.
Oh.
Wait. Let me
About
tell
a
you
minute
something.
12.
Let me tell you something.
All right.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait.
So now we need to get the sound from this video onto my computer. YouTube doesn't let you do that, but there are a ton of programs that will let you do that, or a ton of websites anyway. So I'm going to look for YouTube to MP3 converter. And there's bunches of them. One I've been using, it's called Tube Ripper. So I just need to extract or grab the URL from the video, copy that, and paste it in their little box. Hit the go button. Show me some ads. Then I want to extract the audio. And I'm going to do the 48 kilohertz primarily because it's at the top of the menu. This is certainly not a audiophile level machine, so it doesn't need this level of quality, but it's easy enough to grab it from here. And we're going to edit it anyway, and during the editing process, we'll convert it to exactly what we want, to the exact format that the machine needs. Okay, so now in the downloads folder, we've got that file. Let me tell you something. And Tube Ripper put their little website or the URL in the name. So now we need a way to edit this file, this sound file. And Audacity is the go-to. Audacity. Yep. Fantastic program. Really powerful. Works for Windows, Linux, and Apple iOS. I'm using a Windows machine, so I'm going to download the version. And I'm going to run the install file. Close the browser to clean up the windows a little bit. Got English. Yeah, next. Actually, I've played with this a little bit, so I'm going to reset the preferences. Yeah, I'm going to reset the preferences so that you'll see what a clean install looks like. Install. Launch Audacity. Yep. And some disclaimers. What's new? Don't care. Okay. Now I need to put the sound file in Audacity, so just go to the Downloads folder. I'm going to drag and drop it into Audacity. I'm going to maximize that window. All right, so there's the sound, or a graphical image of the sound. So let's play the sound.
Look, no.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Look
it's
up,
straight from the video.
Up here.
It's got a bunch of stuff in there that we don't want. And it's about 1:12 in where we see that it switches to, or it starts telling me, let me tell you something. It's probably about right. I'm betting right here where it gets louder is the portion. Let's see.
Wait. Let me tell you something.
It's actually about here. It's kind of tough to work at this scale where you can see the entire sound. So I'm going to delete the first portion that I don't want for sure. So I'm going to put the cursor down and drag the cursor down and drag all the portion I don't want, and then edit, delete that sound. Now it's showing me at the same scale the sound, and I want to zoom in on it. If I do select all, and then view, zoom to selection, makes it a little easier to see what's going on. So again, we're looking for William to, when he starts saying, let me tell you something.
Wait. Let me tell you something.
Just because this is a video, I'm not going to be terribly precise about it. It should be about there is where he starts talking, or starts saying, let me tell you something. So drag to the left here to get rid of this portion. Again, I'm just going to press the delete key on the keyboard. Delete that. And I'm thinking this is probably all stuff where he's saying, let me tell you something. I don't want to listen, or you listen to the whole 15 seconds.
Double check. Safety first. Double check.
All right. Lock everything up to the screen. So I'm going to delete the screen, drag to the right, and delete. Press delete on the keyboard. And Control A, select the entire sample, and then Control E to zoom in. All right. So that's the sound I want to be on a sound button. A few more things we can do here is you'll notice that when it gets to the very end, it doesn't fade out, and I'd like it to fade out. So I'll show you how it doesn't sound, or how it sounds right now. It's just a sudden stop, and I want it to fade out. So I would select that section. So select the end, and then go up to Effect, Fade, Fade Out. You can see it now tapers off a little bit. See if that sounds good enough.
Safety first.
Yeah, for this video anyway, it's good enough. I'd probably play with it some more if I were doing it for myself, or doing it for somebody else even more. The next thing to adjust is the volume level. So this volume level looks really good. Some of the videos you download, or some of the audio you download, will be really quiet, too quiet. You'd like all the sound buttons to have about the same volume. So we want to make all the sounds have about the same volume, and Audacity has a way to do that. So I'm going to select the entire sound, Control A, and then do Effect, Volume and Compression, and Normalize. And I've normalized all my sounds to -1 decibel. Essentially the default values. And click Apply, and we should see in the sound that it either expands the volume a little bit or compresses the volume a little bit. I'm not sure what it'll do because that looks pretty good already. Made it a little bit bigger, so a little bit louder. All right, so I've got the sound edited, like the way it looks, or way that it sounds, way it looks. Now we need to export it or save it in a format that we can use. So go up to File, Export Audio. I don't want to share it to audio.com. I want to export to my computer. I don't want to show that again. So export to computer. and stereo's fine. The sound button machine actually only has a single speaker, so it's mono, but the processor inside will convert stereo to mono, so you don't need to convert it to mono if you don't want to. The sample rate is really what we're after here. Instead of 48 kilohertz, we want 44.1 kilohertz, so CD audio. Signed 16-bit PCM is good. So that's WAV format. And I'd prefer MP3s, just because that's what I grew up with. So I'm going to do MP3 file. Again, 44.1 kilohertz. Bitrate really doesn't matter. This is certainly going to be overkill for our machine. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then export. And notice that it's going to go to 3CX, which is me. So my username 3CX, documents Audacity. Export that. All right, so the audio editing is all done. Don't need to save the project. Now we go to Documents, Audacity. You'll see the sound we just created or just edited. If you wanted to put this on a sound machine, you need to change the name. So we're going to the button color. So rename. Let's call it blue. .mp3. All right, and we could drag that to our folder, one of the folders if we wanted. One thing that I have been doing is changing the title. So add a title to it so that I can see, even if it's just named blue, I know what's inside of it. So if I right click, Properties, Details tab, and change the title. Let me tell. And if I know who created it or who's the artist, I'll put it in the album. I don't know that for this one, so I'm just going to leave it blank. Now you see blue. Let me tell you something. You can just copy that and paste it into your drive. And I'm going to put it in 3 because I know 3 doesn't have much in it. Oh, and I named it Blue MP3 MP3. So I'll just change that back. There we go. Now it's called Blue, and it's an MP3 file. All right. I think that's all you needed to know. Let me know if I've missed an important step. Don't let me know if you got bored out of your mind. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.